Welcome once again to the Culture Podcast. It has actually been a beautiful one for game week 3. And looking at Arsenal Brighton's match, the controversial officials from the red card to also several actions from the match, and also our Bayern Leverkusen, their unbeaten run. We saw a very tragic end to that unbeaten run. And Osimen, Victor Osimen, of Napoli, his move to Galatasaray. So it's actually going to be an interesting one. And I have also, once you talk about sport, I have people that are here to dish out whatever you want to hear about that. And you're welcome to the show. You just give us a brief introduction, and let's now talk about the Arsenal Brighton, the red card most especially for Declan Rice.
Okay, I remember my humble self, elder, but my friends call me captain.
You're welcome, the elder and the captain. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, and I'm also happy or honored to be part of this cultural broadcast.
We appreciate that. You're welcome.
So,
the Arsenal match against Brighton.
okay.
I, for myself, I would say the officials or the particular official on the pitch, I feel he is a bit biased against Arsenal, looking at how he officiated, and now it led to a red card on Declan Rice. What will you say, particularly on Declan Rice's red card?
Okay, on my own view, I'll say the ref is a little bit inconsistent.
Okay.
Because let's go back to where Welbeck kicked the ball after the whistle.
Yes.
Yeah, he kicked the ball and there was no
card, nothing was given.
on that. So now, and fast forward to where he issued the second yellow to Declan Rice.
Yes.
Though the first challenge was really silly from
Declan Rice.
Totally uncalled for. But the second one, if you watch the replay, you see from a particular view, the ball was like supposed to be a dead ball. So if the player of Brighton is trying to play a fast one, there's something you have to keep the ball before you. But if you roll the ball towards Rice.
Right. So the ball was still
Rice was walking the way quite alright, but he rolled the ball towards his leg. It was when the ball touched Rice's leg that he realized that the ball. So he just
kick it off.
Without looking, he just tried to push it away so that he could take a little defense before they take the first one. Yeah. So now the ball, on my own point, is supposed to be a dead ball. Then secondly, the red card was a little bit harsh, or let me say totally uncalled for.
Yes.
Yeah, but looking at the scenario from another angle, once the ref has blown a whistle, you're not supposed to touch the ball. You're not supposed to touch the ball yet.
Okay.
Then secondly, some players or some fans are arguing that Rice was insisting they should give the Brighton guy a card
for kicking him.
Yes, which on the other side is also an offense for you to tell the ref what to do.
Wow.
Yeah, you understand. So there are so many perspectives towards this very issue. But if we are to be honest, from my own point of view, it's not supposed to be it's not supposed to be a second yellow. Yeah,
you should have just penalized him and.
No, he's already on the first
yellow card, so you should have just sent.
He's supposed to overlook that incident. You understand?
Yeah. You guys can hear that. I know a lot of Arsenal fans were actually not happy with what happened. Like, if you see now, let's talk generally the match. Generally, what will you say about the officiating of that match? Like, it was looking so strange. Like, he was just picking sides from my view, but I had to watch that match over and over again. I felt like the ref was picking side to Brighton. He's always on the whistle against Arsenal. Do you think he was biased or it was a fair officiating for that match?
To me, it was like I will rate the match like the performance of the ref, like I'll give him like 60-65. They have my reasons because one, most of the fans, because after the match I have to go online to see reactions from individuals, and some people are saying it was the same ref that officiated some matches that Arsenal lost, or you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't really make sense. Let's just come back to the rules. There are rules governing,
They are governing,
all this,
and he has to
activity.
stick to the rules,
Yes.
being an
But
official.
on my own part, I feel the referee was inconsistent. If he had penalized Welbeck, then definitely supposed to
penalize Declan
yes,
Rice
Declan
without,
Rice.
without any question.
yes, that's my own view on it. But aside from that, I give him credit for the remaining activities.
Well, that actually cost Arsenal the 3 points, and also, well, Brighton was a very beautiful side because even from the into the match, you see that Brighton was also attacking and giving Arsenal one or two pressures and all that. And just immediately after the red card, I think within 10 minutes, the first goal for Brighton that leveled the match. It was quite a controversial one, but we're happy to have you explain that. And now let's boil down. Mr. Sam, can you just give us what do you actually think for this Leverkusen long run, unbeaten run? It was brought to a halt, or just 2 matches into the league.
Yeah, so you see, football will remain football.
Mhm.
You can't always go ahead and win. They did it throughout last season. It was fantastic. It was an invisible season, but you can only do that for so long. So you can see that from the start of the match, they were leading 2-0 in the first half,
Obviously,
which was a very good lead for a side like Leverkusen.
Leverkusen.
So anybody will expect them to go ahead and win the game from that point on. But seeing that they started getting a little bit shaky, especially on their defense, they considered the first goal, considered the second goal, and the third goal.
The third goal.
The third goal was, I felt like it was just a defensive failure
Blunder.
because the ball was passed through the sides, a back heel to the middle. So the midfield, defensive midfielders, the center midfielders were nowhere to
They
be
were
found.
sloppy.
There was an entire leak that led to that third goal because Bayern Leverkusen are known for their glorious comebacks.
Yes.
So everybody was actually expecting
a
third
draw.
goal to level the match to be 3-3.
Yes.
But
Never
how long can they do that for? So I feel like they've done very well from last season up till now, but football will still be football.
Yeah, I think let me just add a little to that point. You know, Leverkusen has always been coming from behind to either level
Win
up
or draw.
or win.
Or win.
But this time around, they were leading. So I feel they were carried away.
Yeah.
You understand? The whole thing has entered into their head.
Their
So they
psychology
feel
has changed.
They are invincible. And again, if you check the Leipzig side, it's not as if they are a very bad team. They are very good. They've been consistent. If you check their history,
Yeah.
So I feel it's a
Yes.
sweet shocker
I agree.
for Leverkusen.
Because most times there's a pressure on them to come from behind
Yes.
and win when they are losing 1-0. We've seen it in the Europa League last season. We've seen it in the Bundesliga.
Liga.
So they were leading and they were relaxed.
Yes.
As a result, they lost track of the match. And I think you need some of these losses sometimes to give you that
To keep you focused.
Exactly. So generally, it was a good run, but
We can't take away the credit from them.
Yes.
They really
tried.
Yeah, they tried.
Well, it was it was interesting, but I myself, being an Arsenal fan, I don't want to be biased and saying that. But I felt I expected more from Leverkusen in that match. But like you all have said, they were carried away. Their psychology has changed. But right now, we expect them to be refocused. But do you think they can continue with their winning ways? Do you think they can still move on, like putting this aside?
Yeah, they can try, but you know one thing with all this unbeaten teams and the rest is once your confidence has been thwarted, before you know, everybody will
come and
so the pressure, the bullying from the fans and the rest, before you know, you just become an ordinary team.
Wow.
I think they've established their names as one of the best in German football right now. They are playing the Champions League, and we should expect. I'm not saying we should expect a better season than last because already they can't do what they did last season, but they should be going into games as favorites. So when they are playing big teams like Borussia Dortmund, Bayern, like we saw with Leipzig, we can expect they fall short. But looking at the other teams, I think they should go in as
They will
favorites.
dominate
Yes,
as usual.
Yes, I still predict they stay in the top 4.
Okay, it's a beautiful one. And now coming to this particular topic for we Nigerians, we will say it's an emotional one for Nigerians. Victor Osimen. Like, it was a shocking one seeing Victor Osimen just come out in the Galatasaray shirt. What do you think, sir? What do you think?
To me, it was a total shock because I have this my friend. He always talk about Chelsea. He was, I will be together. We just together. I just want to see in Chelsea.
In Chelsea.
I just laugh at him. So it was shocking for him to just tell me because I wasn't online. I've been busy. He just told me that Osimen has
Moved to
I was
Galatasaray.
shocked. So I have to go online and check it. But considering the fact and some other issues that made him take that decision, I think it's a win-win for him.
Okay, both
Yes.
career-wise and also for his personal, financial-wise also.
Yes, because he still remains in Europe. Though those Saudi guys offered him a very lucrative deal, but
Big
I
one.
don't think he should trade his career for that money.
For that money.
Yeah, for now.
Mr. Sam, will you agree to that?
I would agree, but the only twist is Chelsea are a good side. They're one of the best teams in the world. Let's forget the recent
Troubles they were going
troubles,
through and
yes,
all that.
but Chelsea is a good team, and our Nigeria boy, he was banging goals last season and the season before. So you can confidently say he's one of the best strikers in Europe.
Well, Mr. Sam, can I ask you a question? It was Osimen going there for a permanent deal or on loan?
Galatasaray.
No, on Chelsea. I mean Chelsea.
Chelsea offered a loan deal, which he refused. He refused the loan deal because he felt like for a player of his status, he should not be sent out on loan, which is understandable. Because players of that caliber, right, are so we saw with Neymar, we saw with Philippe Coutinho, we saw with Eden Hazard. When you are playing at that quality and you are being sold to another team, you don't go out on loan. Players are usually sent on loan to go and improve.
Yes,
You
they
go and improve,
return
then
and
you
then
come back.
add value
Exactly.
to the team as expected.
Going on loan to Chelsea to him was an insult to his caliber, which is totally understandable. But he could not accept the deal between him and Chelsea. That fell short. The Saudi move fell short. Now going to Galatasary felt like nobody saw it coming. And I'm sure even when he was offered the deal, he knew that was his only shot at salvaging his career. Because staying for a season or 3 months till the January transfer window without kicking a ball,
because he has been taken off the squad list, there was no option for him.
His just number to
Lukaku, which Lukaku refused, by the way, which is great sportsmanship because he did a lot for Napoli, won the Scudetto for them. So how Napoli treated him wasn't really
because
right.
the 2023 success in Napoli can be very well attributed to Victor Osimen's performance. So it's a touching one. And also, let's talk about fans.
Okay.
Fans came into that particular topic in a sense that they brought in so much emotions. They're talking about Victor Osimen being a bit, maybe being arrogant, or maybe he's acting somehow. Do you think we are just seeing less and there is more to what is happening beneath that we don't actually see, we don't hear on the media, that made Osimen somehow like that? And now the fans, they are just seeing him like, this guy is too arrogant. Take this deal and continue your career.
Yeah, what I would say about this particular aspect of this discussion is, once you go with media, you get confused. They always make you see what they want you to see.
That's so good.
Yeah. So I think Osimen is just being himself and nothing more. If Osimen should happen to play for like Chelsea or any other big team, he will still play the way he plays. So and now if you want to involve the fans in it, Nigerian fans are crazy.
Very.
They are crazy. They banter Cameroon, they banter, they can banter.
Whoever comes in between gets it.
So people are scared to even involve Nigerians in some kind of argument. So which I believe Osimen has that African mentality, which I love. Yes, and I was happy he stood his ground, and then nothing really changes. His salary, everything is still intact because both ways they will join and pay.
So,
and just the only disadvantage, which I feel is even an advantage, is his buyout clause now is reduced to
75.
Yeah, so which is and if he insists, he might not even leave till 2025, whereby he will be leaving as a free agent, which is also a win-win for him.
Win-win for him.
Yes.
Mr. Sam, you agree to that?
Yes, I do. But Osimen standing his ground on wanting his wages that high is okay. Because we've seen big players move out of big clubs because they were not paid what they wanted. We've seen it with Sadio Mane when he went to Bayern because Liverpool were not willing to give him a contract with a higher pay. Yeah. So it's okay for big players to want more salary-wise. So they were not willing to give him that, and he moved to Galatasary, and they're going to pay him the exact same thing he earns at Napoli because it's going to be shared between Napoli and Galatasaray. So I feel it's a good move for him.
Well, it is a beautiful one. This particular episode has actually given us a lot of insights to our hot topics for the game week 3. So we are really happy to have you guys on the show. Very, very happy. The Culture Podcast. You can find us like on all social platforms. Just please like, comment, share. Let's engage this, and we have a lot more interesting one as this particular one to dish out to you guys. Thank you, and thank you for coming on to the show, and also for giving us your best. We are happy you're here.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm honored.